Welcome back to Molding the World, the only news program that views the slow-motion collapse of Western civilization through the lens of high-quality plasticine and a healthy dose of nihilism. It is April 30th, 2026, and the special relationship is currently being tested by a king, a beehive, and a president who thinks a painting of himself being shot is appropriate decor for a royal tea party. We begin in Washington, D.C., where King Charles III has been performing the diplomatic equivalent of a high-wire act over a pit of very orange lions. This week, the king became the first British monarch to address a joint meeting of Congress, receiving a dozen standing ovations, presumably from people who were just relieved he wasn't there to ask for the colonies back. I've just witnessed a moment of diplomacy so profound it makes the Treaty of Versailles look like a disagreement over a game of snap. The president has presented His Majesty with a beehive. Not just any beehive, mind you, but one meticulously crafted to look like the White House. Presumably, so the bees can experience the thrill of being lobbied by the pesticide industry while simultaneously living in a house with no corners. The symbolism was exquisite, a king who loves nature being shown a group of insects who are forced to live in a replica of the president's house. One can only assume the bees have their own tiny secret service and are currently being briefed on how to eliminate any wasps that cross the border. And if that wasn't surreal enough, the official photos showed the Trumps and the royals having tea in front of a giant painting depicting Trump's attempted assassination in Pennsylvania. It's a bold move in interior design. Usually, when the king comes over, you hide the embarrassing family photos. You don't hang a massive canvas of yourself being tackled by federal agents. I imagine the king stared into his Earl Grey and wondered if it was too late to hide in that ostrich hole with Keir Starmer. Meanwhile, back in London, the piece of Golders Green was shattered by a man whose mental capacity appears to be roughly on par with a stunned whelk. He's decided to introduce a new and unwelcome local sport to the streets of North London: unsolicited urban acupuncture. Yesterday, this particular gentleman decided that the best way to spend his Wednesday morning was to go on a stabbing spree, targeting two innocent men and attempting to take a run at the police before being tasered into the pavement with the grace of a falling sack of wet coal. The authorities have formally declared it a terrorist incident, and the streets are currently thick with armed police. It is the Great Reset of security, a city where you can't walk down Highfield Avenue without looking over your shoulder. It's a tragic reminder that while the politicians are arguing about beehives and F-16s, the reality on the ground is increasingly sharp and unpredictable. We send our thoughts to the victims, and our admiration to the officers who had to deal with a man who thought a knife was a valid political argument. And while we're on the subject of the High Street, let's talk about the fact that ours is currently a ghost town. It's a dark day for the British teenager. The High Street is being dismantled faster than a Lego set in the hands of a toddler with a sugar rush. Claire's Accessories is closing, meaning the nation's youth will no longer have a place to get their ears pierced by a woman whose only medical qualification is a weekend course in operating a staple gun. And TGI Fridays is gone, leaving us with nowhere to be sung to by a waiter who clearly wishes he was anywhere else, including a coal mine. The carnage is absolute. Claire's is shutting all 154 standalone stores, taking 1,300 jobs with it. They join Game, which is shutting its final standalone shops, and even the 145-year-old Russell and Bromley, which has entered administration. We are molding a new world where every town centre consists of 3 vape shops, a boarded-up Woolworths, and a Greggs that is currently being turned into a Fortress store. If you want to buy a pair of shoes or a video game in 2026, you can't just walk into a shop. You have to order it from a warehouse, wait 3 days for a delivery driver to throw it onto your roof, and hope that the local friendly federal assassin doesn't nick it first. The High Street isn't dying. It's being reset into a collection of empty units and closing down signs. In summary, the king is talking to bees in Washington, London is counting its scars in Golders Green, and the High Street has officially run out of tiaras. We are truly molding a new world. It's just a shame it looks like an empty shopping mall with a terrorist in the car park and a king who's just realized he forgot to cancel his subscription to the special relationship. We hope you enjoy the song and we look forward to seeing you all again next time. Good night, and if you see a bee wearing a red tie, tell it we're all out of honey.
Window where the game used to be. Now it's just a ghost in the machinery. No more physical discs, no more plastic cases, just the empty stares on the commuters' faces. Claire's is boarded up, glitters on the floor. You can't buy any yarn earring anymore. The great breeze that is humming in the rainy London sky as we wave the 20th century along and call goodbye. And the last balloon pops at the TGI underneath the grey and the lonely sky. No more burgers, no more striped shirts. It's the great shutdown and everybody hurts. From the high street to the harbour, the lights are going dim, and the world is getting smaller on a digital whim. Bake, the co goes on for miles. You stand there watching the chaps run past with smiles. But you want a birthday party with a sparkler and a song. Well, I'm sorry buddy, you've been waiting far too long. The retail parks are quiet, the shopping malls are dead. What must be going on in our children's heads? And the last balloon pops at the TGI and the